happen. So rrqhoshi is definitely going to have to play a little bit safer on these 5v5 engagements.
Yeah, they got that Faramis too, like all of the answers towards the Faramis. You got the Ruby to tug it in, you got the Guinevere to set up the plays. Now they still need someone to go in the jungler, someone for Magister to pick up. There's still the Martis here, like kind of like an anti-CC for their side. Great early game. The Nolan's already out. I was actually thinking about Deus Vult actually picking that up, but this actually leaves in like only a few options here. And there you have it, right on cue. Just I mentioned that the Martis is going to be an anti-CC. A great early game from Deus Vult. They pick it up here. This is looking really scary for both sides. It seems like it's going to be team fight heavy type of composition for both rrq and Deus Vult.
I will say, though, Banana picked up that Benedetta again. We saw that in game 1 up against Team Lowgun, and that really made the difference between him and Skylar being able to pressure the side lanes and win on the 1v1s. I mean, you see Banana oftentimes rotating around and being able to clear that side lane and get to the mid lane with ease and out-rotating their opponent. And then the same thing, Skylar just easily able to gap his enemy marksman. So it is going to be a challenge over there for the side of Deus Vult, but I do like their draft. I'm actually maybe favoring their draft a little bit more than rrqhoshi. I think both of them are pretty strong. I just like when it comes to how synergized the side of Deus Vult is looking, there's going to be a lot of CC, but there's a lot of sustainability to work into the favor of rrqhoshi as we are now getting ready to jump into the most anticipated match of the Game of Futures 2024 group stage. rrq out from Indonesia going up against Deus Vult from Russia. Who will be able to claim this series?
Yeah, Brusco going out to give the vision here for rrqhoshi, knowing that Magister actually started off with that red buff, maybe possibly just trying to be a menace here, or a nuisance rather, in the jungler here up against Deus Vult. Even Octa is here rotating towards them, but Kid Bomba though on the top side, a solo kill being picked up there by the Benedetta, by Banana here of rrqhoshi. But Brusco right now getting dealt with here by Sawo, being punished there for overextending.
A quick response, 1-1 on the board, but man, not too often do you see a Ruby fall this early in the game. It's one of the most sustainable heroes, especially on a 1v1. I mean, a Ruby can 1v3 when teams try and dive her, just with the amount of CC she has available. Kid Bomba just kind of being a little too overly aggressive. Got to put some respect on Banana with that Benedetta. I mean, he's a Benedetta main so far, at least for.
Oh, looking at the emblems here too for both sides. rrqhoshi, a lot of those quantum charges coming out from Banana and Brusco, just to have that extra mobility for their team. And rrq right now, lots of pressure on the XP lanes. A thing that we've seen in other teams too. Pressure out the XP lanes so that they can have this really good position when it comes to these turtle fights. And we all know that the turtle fights, it's a tug of war between the two teams. Sawo does not have that ultimate just yet. Turtles at half HP, and it's actually going to be a reset here by both sides. 1-1 in the 2-minute mark.
Halo,
no one's still
in
the lead right now, but everyone is looking to take it in for themselves by at least taking in the first objective here, which is going to be the turtle.
Bentar ya.
I kind of said I was favoring Deus Vult's draft, but honestly, I'm liking both sides. This may be the best drafting I've seen so far in Game of Futures 2024. Both of them have great synergy. You have the midfielder to use the guiding wind to be able to keep Barats alive and get him to safety when needed. There goes that circling eagle over there, wrapping around from Brusco. You are going to see Banana taking some damage, use the electrify on a blow. Irrad will be able to claim the turtle from inside rrqhoshi, and now a possible punish play. Magister very low, special migration in. Sawo takes down Banana. Octa finds Magister. Both sides still even on the scoreboard, 2-2, but rrqhoshi takes the first neutral objective.
Yeah, definitely a better trade there. Let's take a look at the replay. What actually went down was Banana goes in for the Electro final blow, and then you got in that nether from Octa to save the day. It was a 1-for-1 trade. Banana was punished, but for the price of Magister, definitely worth it here for rrqhoshi.
Udah disetting nih. Kedengeran nggak suara aku? Berisik
but it's still
Kalau
pretty even in
berisik
terms of the economy. You're looking at rrqhoshi leading by about 700 gold. Keep in mind, this is one of the top regions in MLBB, Indonesia. Deus Volt's definitely having a lot to prove here on how far they have came as a region from Russia. Right, they placed fourth place inside of M5, taken down by Blacklist from the Philippines, but now gonna go ahead and show Indonesia what they're about. rrqhoshi looking stronger than ever though with that first neutral objective. We'll go ahead and give them a massive XP boost and a good start for the early phase. Looking at the side laner, Skylar is going to be running this Nathan, going up against Hiko on this Claude. Both of them late game damage dealers, but definitely can hit very hard if both teams can scale. So I would say needing to kind of put some pressure in the goal lane would be a really good start for either side if they want to try and take advantage, at least for the early game, and have mid control.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here too for split pushes coming out from rrq. They got the Benedetta. They also got in that Nathan. But there you go, Irad getting in Sunset Lover there. Nice setup there by Brusco to enable that play coming out from rrqhoshi. This is big, especially before the turtle fight. You don't have the vision coming out from the Novaria, and this is something that they definitely need right now because you see the zoning that Banana has been doing, and at the same time the Netherrealm to keep everyone healthy when it comes to these team fights. Magister are going to be starting it up. Let's take a look at the items here. So far, we actually see the Claude here. Hiko actually picking up the corrosion side, and for Nathan, it's a very early pickup on the penetration boost. So he actually wants to go in for that magic burst damage, and then to add it all up, I think he's building up that Holy Crystal for his next item.
Ooh, Special Migration with the knock-up. Astro Echo going down from Sunset Lever, forcing out the Netherrealm. Everybody's still intact, though. Turtle does get reset. Both teams still fighting it out. Detna's welcome connected. Irad for the stun on the wall. Kid Bomba trapped. Like a off of Banana, but Kid Bomba able to get out in time. Big play. Huge evasive maneuver. And Kid Bomba able to sustain himself. Both teams still fight it out. Turtle at about 50% HP. You know, it's funny enough when you see Mathilda grabbing up Irad, I don't call it a drive-by. It's a flyby.
Nice.
How they can get set up. Banana will find Magister over there, gets one, and another Turtle going to rrqhoshi and now leading by 2 kills. Irad though, out of position. May need to get back. Brusco,
Guess almost
trying to get him to safety. Fighting win.
Masih selamat itu.
The stun though.
Lah, kok bisa masih
going in trying to
selamat?
deal some damage. We'll be able to escape a good save for rrqhoshi.
Yeah, gets that guiding wind out, and this is exactly why the Matilda is the most picked, most banned currently in Case of the Future. Even though with the adjustments that were made to it, it still provides that hit that the team needs. But especially since the team fights right now, it's so much more evident than the previous patch. You got all these heavy CC, the Rubies, the Minotaurs that seem to be the prior pick here of a lot of the teams. And with the Matilda, it just provides so much shield. You see how much Irad was taken in earlier, and with that guiding wind, just like that, he was able to escape that clash. You see how fast the turrets are being pushed here over at the top side and the bottom side. The same case that happened also for Burmese Fools. The space that is being given here right now. Look at all the creeps. It's being taken away here by rrqhoshi up against Magister that has been picked off twice already in this game.
Yeah, rrqhoshi just way quicker to these objectives, putting Deus Volt's in an awkward position. Hiko very low. Skylar rushing in, able to deal the final blow, and gets back out to safety with the power of entropy. 5-2 on the scoreboard, and now up by 4,000 gold. You did see Irad pick up the blade armor too. Already prepping for Hiko as he gets a couple more of those core items, such as that golden staff. Magister some basic attacks, but Magister rushing in. He's going to use the mortar coils. Brusco very low. Violet Requiem for the double setup. Magister hits the decimation, takes down Octa.
Rat's still alive.
Linebacker now may be able to go in, but Rat's very low. We'll go back to Skylar, finds Sunset Lever from afar. 6-3, rrqhoshi leading the early game.
Let's take a look at that replay. Nice circling eagle there for from the side of rrqhoshi. They got that nice setup from Sawo though, and that tug in from Kid Bomba. It was only Octa that paid the price there, and that's what we really get when you have that Netherrealm up, right? Like, you're able to sustain anyone, you're able to do all these aggressive dives that rrqhoshi has been doing even under the turret here of Deus Vult. Here comes the vision coming out from the side of the Deus Vult. I think it is going to go to the side of rrqhoshi here, but here comes the Circle Eagle once again from Brusco.
Connecting a full bullseye on the Magister. Able to get away though. 1 HP escape. Netherrealm proc. Octa
Persib
getting
dulu baru
away.
rrq.
Good saves from
Iya,
Brusco
lagi
so
ada
far.
Persib juga
With the
Bang
guiding one
John
of
ya.
this Mathilda, I guess we're seeing why it's the most banned hero a game of Futures
Ini
2024.
itu
I mean,
adik
just
aku juga
look
lagi
how
nonton
well
tuh.
he's executing on keeping his team alive. Not only providing the escapes, but providing the shields when necessary to negate the damage.
Ini ada Benedetta nih,
Wow,
Bang
look
John.
at the gold here of Banana, 6,370.
Banana
A whole
11-12
lot
nih,
more than what
Benedettanya
Kid
sama
Bomba has,
Torao.
who's standing at the 4,399. I mean, even the Matilda here has so much more gold. And look at this, ongoing fights all across the board. Sawo unable to get that setup, but Iran's taking up a lot of the damage this time, not able to get out the Blazing Duet to clear out the waves, and that is gonna be the Irad
dari kemarin
the
dia pakai
price of
Benedetta.
taking in the
Kemarin
turrets
aku
here.
gak
It is still
nonton,
gonna be
gak
Deus
sempet.
Vult finding something out of that one.
It's funny you were talking about Banana's gold. He even had more gold than Hiko, and he's in the gold lane. That just shows you how well Banana is performing today. As you are going to go ahead and see the Lord take the tier 2 turret on the bot side. The map opening up for the side of rrqhoshi, claiming majority of the real estate produced Vult so far, having a hard time responding, and now down by 5,000 gold. Highest kills on the game. It's a tie between Skylar and Banana. A battle from the side laners who we mentioned having such a strong game, especially when they went up against Team Logan. They had a hard time just beating them on the one-on-one matchups in the side lanes, and this is where rrqhoshi thrives. You're able to see Skylar often be able to beat his opponent in that lane, and the same thing with Banana running the Benedetta, able to out-rotate. Rotation Sawo checks the push. Fish migration in for the setup, and now the Netherrealm response from rrqhoshi. Sending it. Bomba very low. Gets away from Banana, elect the final blows to safety, and neither side find any casualties.
Oh no, but Irad right in the middle of everything. Sawo does not have that setup just yet. Irad can pretty much tank up any of the damage being tossed out here by Deus Vult. 10 minutes in, rrqhoshi with a 32k lead. And of course, the real estate that is really pricey these days. And something that rrqhoshi definitely has in this game. Not only that, they can also get all of the resources around the map. Deus Vult not able to take anything in as of the moment. And 30 seconds in, we're going to be seeing the first Slaughter Gate spawn in the Land of Dawn. As for Deus Vult, they really need to have these nice setups coming out from Kid Bomba or Sawo here, and so far they've been getting it. But what's really hard is Octa's been popping in that Netherrealm, which is kind of like everybody's health is all the way back up to full, so pretty much nullifies what the setups are doing. But what they really need right now is going to be the Blazing Duet coming out from Hiko. I saw that he actually picked up the Demon Hunter sword already, maybe going in for the Golden Staff for his next item, so he should be able to dish a great amount of damage once it at least reaches the 15 mark of the game. But rrqhoshi is not letting up. They're going to be taking in this Lord without any contest at all from Deus Vult.
And Deus Vult needs to watch out for Skylar. He's already 2,000 gold ahead of Hiko. I mean, you've seen how fast he shredded down that Lord, and that's just kind of a little bit of a preview on what he's going to be able to do if it comes to these 5v5 engagements if Deus Vult is not careful. Now, they need to find a way to turn this around, right? It's not too far out of the ballpark yet for them to have a chance to turn this game in their favor, but they may have to start playing for the late game. I mean, you're seeing this Lord crash in. They're down to their inhibitors already at the 12-minute mark, and rrqhoshi going in for blood. Sawo has to use special migration to get out, but Skylar will find Kid Bomba on the top side. Elect to find a blow.
There's the petrify.
The slide. Blazing Duet forced out. Skylar will find the inhibitor, opening up the base for Deus Vult. Now the counterplay. Magister, very low. Netherrealm going down. Skylar with the mega kill finds Magister. 2 members down for Deus Vult, and the base has been cracked open. rrqhoshi completely dominating this last 12 minutes.
It's only Sunset Lover. Sawo and Eagle left to defend. Can they make it? There's a lot of minions coming in here, crashing in the base of Deus Vult. They still got that Blazing Duet though. Can they defend this one? 12 minutes in. rrqhoshi just taking it. Kid Bomba with the next tug, but there comes the clapback here from rrqhoshi. Banana! Wow, 2 for the price of none. rrqhoshi. Everyone's still alive right now.
Yeah, the Astro Echo does connect, providing a lot of slow on rrqhoshi, but they're still taking the fight to their home turf. They're not pulling no punches today, as they're going to try and go in for some more. Looks like they want that last inhibitor turret. It may fall. Deus Vult trying to contest, giving it their all, but rrqhoshi holding that Indonesian flag high, letting them know, Viva RRQ. Deus Vult's definitely need to find a way to turn this around.
11.3k for Skylar here, and
halo
he was
Bang
standing at
Hapid.
9,000. Yes, he does have
Nonton nih,
the
Bang
core
Hapid.
items here of the Claude, but the timing here of the Nether Realm 2 is something that they have to watch out for, not to mention the free hits here of Skylar, who hasn't been shut down just yet. 401 rather on the Nathan. 45 seconds in, one more Lord here could actually be it here for the side of Deus Vult. They got the Nathan here. They got the Barretts to tank everything up, not to mention the shields that Brusco have been providing.
Guinya
has already picked
bahaya.
up that immortality, so kind of gearing up for
Bahaya
that
nih.
final fight here
Guin
up
sama
against Deus Vult.
ini sama Ruby.
Still play has been called out though. Special migration for the knockup. Debt is welcome going down. Sawo taking some heavy hits, is going to be able to get out to
Ini
safety.
GG nih Guin sama Ruby-nya.
Engage and
Bomba sama
disengage from
Sawo.
that spatial migration. But now, look at rrqhoshi already on to the next
Jarang
objective. They've been
nonton
doing this
MPL.
entire game.
Ini bukan MPL, ini lagi turnamen di Rusia, game of future.
This Lord and Deus Vult's not in a position to contest, but they may try to. As look at Kid Bomba, thirsty for a set. He needs to open this up.
Awas Skylar, jangan dari depan terus, Skylar.
But can he get it? He's gonna use it. He finds Brusco, but is that the target he really wants? Brusco able to get away.
Nice, itu banana
Target
dapat
banana.
maganya.
Wrap it around the backside. Electrified a blow.
Gelo pasifnya.
Connected to the members of rrqhoshi, but not dealing
Push
massive
aja sih ini
damage.
banana.
Major
Ih,
utility
ini
off the
end
board
game
for both
ini nih,
sides.
banana nge-push nih. Banana nge-push ini cuy. Banana nge-push ini.
They're going in for the kill. They don't need the Lord. They want to finish it.
Banana's
they are
cleaning
on
up the
the
waves.
chase. Banana with the split push capability, showcasing his mastery on this
Sayang banget Skylar gak pakai Beatrix. Kalau Beatrix sekarang agak kurang. Lebih ke Nathan, Kari sekarang dulu.
rrqhoshi was just baiting out all of those ultimates, baiting those purifies from the side of Deus Vult, so they don't have anything. Once they headed to the Lord fight, it was a free Lord for rrq. Banana even cleared out that wave on the mid side just to make sure that the minion waves will go to the side of Deus Vult, pressuring them to go back to their base. 15 minutes in, 50,000 for the side of rrqhoshi. It's almost an 11k lead for the kingdom.
Masih
and they're
untung
looking to take in
dua-duanya.
this first game up against Deus Vult. Here
Tadi
comes
kalau
the
gak ada
Lord.
minion
50
bisa ke
minute
end
marks,
tuh
the
sama
enhanced Lord
banana.
for the side of rrqhoshi. The only thing here for Deus Vult to do is to have that setup, but right now the mobility, the shields that is being provided here by Brusco is not something that they can easily deal with. Here comes this setup from the side of Sawo, but Brusco comes in with a clapback.
Itu dua tuh hilang.
Will connect too as well. Forcing out the Nether Realm. Octa gets killed. Skylar finds Taiwo. You're going to go ahead and see the Blazing Duet go down. Lord almost burst it out of the game, but makes his way to the base. Crystal, 50%.
Udah sih menang nih, N aja, N.
10%.
GG gaming guys.
Going down goes the base.
Menang nih EAC game nih.
Takes game 1.
Bang sekarang hanya di bab apanya ultinya kah?
My goodness, what a show.
I mean, this is what we expected, right? A matchup
GG
just like
gaming,
this.
cuy.
rrqhoshi and Deus Vult. rrqhoshi just stopped the tracks here at Deus Vult. Like, they got that Matilda, which is actually one of the top picks right now, and you can understand why these teams have been banning it away. You see the shields that were provided, and not to mention rrqhoshi had that Nether Realm from that Faramis, so every single fight here from rrqhoshi, they are sure that they can come out alive. Deus Vult had some nice tugs there from Kid Bomba, some setups here from Sawo. There was the Purify, there's the Red Realm, so there was just so many things that Deus Vult had to consider once they go for the setup plays.
My ground was shaking beneath me. I feel like there's an
Ini
earthquake
kok
going on in
win-loss-nya nggak di
Indonesia.
ini?
How well
Belum diganti, ini
rrqhoshi
masih
was performing right
0-0.
there. Just some flawless execution, right? If we just start from the very beginning, they were laser focused on every single objective. They took every turtle, every Lord, rotated around the map. Both side laners, Skylar and Banana, their capability
Jangan
on
lupa
what they
guys,
provide in the
aku
side
ini
lanes just
upload
as a solo
video
individual
terbaru tuh,
is
bantu like
scaling
sama
over
komen dong.
majority of the teams that they
Aku
have
upload
faced so
video
far in
terbaru
Game of
tuh.
Futures 2024. Deus
Onyx
Vult
gak
needs to
masuk
find a
kah?
way to win in the
Onyx
side lanes
masuk.
first if they want to turn this around. We saw Kid Bomba. He lost in the 1v1 matchup up against Banana in like the first minute and 20 seconds. And not just on any hero. This was on a Ruby. That's the most sustainable hero in the XP lane. You definitely have to play it a little bit better if you're going to have a chance to turn this around and even out the series.
Yeah, the thing about that XP lane matchup earlier, yeah, both were really good picks coming out from both RRQ and Deus Vult, right? Like the thing that Banana actually did there in that early game, he didn't have that Electro Final Blow, and even Kid Bomba does not have the ultimate just yet, but he had that Petrify, right? The pressure on the XP lane is so heavy right now, which is kind of why you see a lot of these players have actually been prioritizing the XP lane pickups. You see sometimes the CC being picked up first, the Ruby, right? Like being picked up first, and even the Paquito as well, which sometimes is a priority pick for some of the teams, but it goes to show how heavy the impact of the XP laner is right now in the current meta.
Yeah, and we didn't really get to see Kid Bomba really open up these engagements, especially with the Ruby. You have the I'm offended. Your team's kind of waiting for you to get that initial setup so they can punish. But oftentimes, he wasn't grabbing the right targets, right? We've seen him grab the Mathilda out of everybody. And I mean, that's the last person you want to grab. It's just going to guiding wind right out of there or use the circling eagle to safety. And then you don't have the setup potential that Deus Vult is looking for to be able to fight on these neutral objectives. And honestly, just some great execution from the side of rrqhoshi for game number one. As we are going to do a blast for the past, a little bit of showcasing on that flawless execution. Irad able to get that turtle, and then the aggressive play, the full send into the tier 2 turret for the top side. Spatial migration from Sawa takes down Banana, but Octo will find Magister of 1 for 1 trade.
Ini aku sama 5
yeah, the
musuh.
thing here too about the Deus Vult and rrqhoshi's team fights here is not only do they have shields, not only do they have the Nether Realm, but Sawo really had a hard time setting up the plays here, right? Like it was only possibly up to Kid Bomba to make in the place, because look at the spells here for rrqhoshi. That's 3 purifies from their side, so you can imagine the frustration too of Sawo. Like he gets a nice 3-man knockup, but you know, having the purify in, there's really nothing much you can do unless you catch them in a position where they don't have it, right? And even up to this point, like, you know, all of those ultimates being tossed, you're still able to escape, all because of the Nether Realm, all because of that guiding wind from the Matilda. And we did mention it was going to be an all-out brawl here for both sides, right? Looking at their team composition, this was just screaming team fights after team fights, and rrqhoshi definitely did that so well. I have to commend Banana here on the early game. He gave so much space here for Skylar to be able to scale up on his lane. And by the time like Skylar was activated, Deus Vult really didn't have the answers to that. A lot of the zoning has happened here in the Lord Pit. You see how Banana was actually zoning in the back lines for Irad to actually take in the major objective, which is the Lord. A lot of ultimates too have been invested, but at the same time, the vision here of Deus Vult was not enough. The sustainability was way too heavy here for them to take. And even with the really good setups, without the follow-up, there was absolutely nothing that they could do.
Ada
And we
kok
did
Bang
mention a
Hafid,
lot about
lihat aja
Skylar.
di channel
This
aku.
is twice
Ada
that
yang
we've seen the
terbaru tuh.
Nathan on the MVP.
Baru upload
Earlier,
aku.
we've seen it too on the Burmese schools in the hands of Stitch. This time it's going to be Skylar rocking it in. 865 gold and no shutdowns just yet from Deus Vult here in this entire game.
The man is a problem, and not too many marksmen have been able to go head-to-head with him. He's been able to kind of gap every marksman he has faced so far, but if the side of rrqhoshi, if their team was a book, the glue holding the pages together would definitely be Octa, right? He was running on that Faramis, and it wasn't giving a lot of credit to him keeping the team alive. He was doing a lot of good things with the Nether Realm, waiting till a couple of the members would get low, and then putting them pretty much back to full HP. And then also giving credit to the rotations with running that Mathilda to also keep them alive when things got a little tricky. There was a lot of guiding wind plays and overall some flawless execution over there from Brusco. I think the double support meta stacked up with the Barats is very hard to deal with, and it looks like Deus Vult just did not have an answer. Jumping into the next game, I mean, I think me and you both can agree that we may see that Mathilda banned out.
Yeah, I mean, the first pick for rrqhoshi, definitely they will take in the Matilda, and then you pair it up with a Barret. It's definitely a combo that is super sustainable, to the point that even with the Blazing Duet here of Hiko, there's really nothing that Deus Vult can do in all of those clashes. And not to mention, by the time Skylar was activated, it was really something that they had to think of, right? Skylar had that Purify, Sawo couldn't take him down. Hiko also had to take into consideration that Banana was actually actually try to take him down too in the back lines. And Sunset Lover too, even with the vision that he was providing, rrqhoshi just stands on top when it comes to those team fights, and it was all because of the double support meta that still worked out really well. And at this point, the Faramis also built it to be like a magic damage Faramis, right? Getting that cult altar up. And to think about it, if I'm the one playing the Faramis, right, like clicking that ultimate is gonna be so vital. Like you have to know when to click it. You have to know when to time it too. And that's actually what rrqhoshi did so well here in this match. The timing of the ultimates and the team fights executed so well all throughout this game.
Yeah, and when it came to the draft, Kid Bomba picked up the Ruby. I really wanted to see the R-Lot walk into that, right? I mean, there was so much CC that he could have profited on, especially with the Guinevere and Sunset Lever on that Devaria. That's just like a well-synergized combo. The Ruby's great too. I do think the Ruby's one of those heroes that can fit in pretty much any draft. But I just feel like the R-Lot could have kind of profited a little bit more. We didn't really get to see them explode too much in the side lanes, and they lost all of the objectives in the early phase. rrqhoshi, eyes on the prize, laser focused, able to kind of have that beehive mentality, right? They're all moving as a unit. One sound beat, able to take every single objective at a moment's notice. And I think if Deus Vult wants a way to turn this around, they have to first start off by being patient inside of the side lanes. You cannot overextend. Skylar is going to beat you in that gold lane. It's just been proven with how well he's been performing in Game of Futures 2024. So instead of trying to test out how good Skylar is, or how good Banana is, just play safe and wait for your team to either rotate to the side lanes or to win the neutral objectives. I think that's where you can beat them. If you try and take the 1v1 matchups, it's just been proven rrqhoshi can just do it a little bit better.
Yeah, the thing too about the lineup here of rrqhoshi was team fight eccentric. I mean, you have to be grouped up, right? Because you got the Matilda, you got the Faramis. There's really nothing to worry about. Even if you do those turret types that we've seen several times in that game. I mean, I would have been scared to take those turret types, but with the Matilda, with the Faramis, there's really nothing much to fear. And rrq understood that every single team fight, they commit to it and they execute it really well. And for Deus Vult, they tried to get in those setups, but again, the Purifies are such a nuisance. Not only the Purify, the Nether Realm, and the shields being provided by the Guiding Wind, it's way too much to handle there for all the team fights that Deus Vult wanted to happen.
And keep in mind, guys, the winner of this series is going to move on to stage 2 of the playoffs. Nobody's getting knocked out here. This is just a battle of placement in the playoffs. Whoever loses this series will go to stage 1, and you'll be seeing them compete first, which means they have an easier chance of being knocked out because they're not as high on the bracket as whoever wins this winner's match. So far, rrqhoshi does have the slightest advantage. They are up 1-0. This is match point. They have a chance to get a sweep over Deus Vult, but this is Deus Vult we're talking about, right? They placed 4th inside of M5 for a reason, taking on a lot of heavy contenders and taking the world by a storm. We just got to find a way for them to get alive in the early game. Like I said, I don't like seeing one-sided stories. I want to see this go to game 3. I'd love to see matches that kind of keep you at the edge of your seat. And I think they are a team that could potentially do this.
Yeah, for rrqhoshi, Deus Vult, we are expecting a 2-1 coming out from this BO3, right? And Deus Vult was considered one of the dark horses back in M5. So I think coming in here, it is going to be really interesting too to see how Deus Vult will kind of take this back to the driver's seat, back to their team. And for rrqhoshi, right, if they want to take this entire thing, let's see what kind of adjustments that Deus Vult will make ultimately in the next game. And as for rrqhoshi, I think they're that kind of team that just kind of adjusts to what the other team will bring out here. And it's gonna be crucial too who's gonna be on the blue side and who's gonna be on the red side.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be crucial. I want to see which way it goes. Like I said, this match, I anticipated it being the best one out of the entire group stage. But honestly, I mean, I really enjoyed the last one with Nico and Bebex just as much. But I want to see Deus Vult turn this around. I want to see them be able to have a way to get back into this series because they are a heavy contender and one of the underdogs that I would consider. rrqhoshi, I guess you could say the same thing because they did not compete in the M series, but they are from one of the best perspective regions in Indonesia. So we are going to be going to a brief intermission video real quick before we pan into the next round. So guys, don't go anywhere. Grab some popcorn and enjoy. See you guys in a little bit.
Ya,
make sure you guys check out the next match.
BTW bentar lagi gue juga turun. Waduh, GG Bang Arti. Bisa nyusul nih. Aku kesusul nih sama Bang Ardi nih kayaknya.
What is the scent? Do you feel it? What does it smell? This is the smell of the fear, the scent of the battle. I am really scary, but this is the scent of the win too. You know why? You know why? Because today is the group stage, and let's go find out how it's going on.
Еще!
With who you gonna play today?
With Deus.
Are they strong?
Yeah, strong. They are strong.
Are you scared of them?
Now,
You're scary?
Why? We will try our best to beat them.
Хорошие оппоненты.
Хороший оппонент.
Да, кто лучше задрафтит, тот выиграет.
Там 40 секунд, это уже не задемо.
Are you nervous? No. Are you scary? No. Nobody?
But called yes.
Yeah. Called yes. Yeah. Can I show? Can I show? Look at this. Oh. Is she a hero from the MLBB? No.
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? Oh.
Первым лордом забирать сразу Т3 это очень сильно.
He's focused on the game.
No, this is just custom.
He don't listen to me. Она для чего?
Для подготовки руки.
И это помогает тебе в игре?
Ну, не знаю.
Ну, может, как психологически, да, разгружает?
Да.
Посмотрите, как у него кресло опущено. Это для того, чтобы резко лечь, быстренько поспать и снова в игру.
Разворачивает Икс, свою ульту должна всех добивать.
How your day is going on?
We're just watching some games. This is the group that we're playing in. So I think we're getting some ideas from how they're playing. And then, we'll be playing against Homeboys later on in a few minutes, actually. So I think we're pretty much set.
Валентину добить, Валентину забрать, есть такая возможность.
Какую бы суперсилу хотел бы из игры?
Давай я гляну героев.
Так, я вижу Пикачу.
I just want Link Super Bowl. Link.
Link Super Bowl.
Yeah. Then I want to jump every wall.
Jump everywhere. So you can hide and seek some girls.
Of course.
Thing like Paquito.
Paquito.
He can punch everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So you wanna punch everyone?
Paquito.
Oh my god, I'm scary of you.
Я бы хотел телепортацию.
Телепортацию?
Да.
Probably teleporting because I really miss my girlfriend.
Тоже телепортация.
Может быть, летать. Ты бы ограбил банк?
Нет, зачем мне эти банки? Я бы не летал на этих самолетах по 2 часов.
Нет,
Нет, да?
сильнее.
You telling me that you are missing your girlfriend because we are filming? Because she can see.
I actually do. But if I find this video anywhere, I'll probably send her.
А вот это вообще не кстати потеря. А зачем? А как? Почему?
Ну что ж, дорогие друзья, мы с вами все наблюдали за групповыми этапами. Было вайбово, было тепло, было очень круто. Ну, а результаты вы сами все можете увидеть на своих экранах.
And we are back. Welcome back to Group A Round 2 after that amazing go. Now, let's just kind of talk about what we've seen so far. We're currently on the winner's match for Group Stage A. We got to see rrqhoshi go up against Deus Vult for round 1. And man, was it a show. rrqhoshi completely dominated, more of a one-sided match, able to take control in the side lanes. Banana and Skylar paving the way for Indonesia so far.
Yeah, rrqhoshi right now, they're looking to take in the game number 2 because they're already at a match point up against Deus Vult. But the thing here is Deus Vult is going to have that first pick. Matilda might actually, right on cue, Matilda will be bad out. Here's the thing about the players. Like, before I even say it, they actually do it. It seems to be a thing. Even with my cast with Private yesterday, we were just talking about the Nana, and then it pops into the drama. Deus Vult, this is understandable. This is one of their top band heroes too. And I think you wouldn't want to give that advantage to Irad that can really rock those early game heroes, those burst types, those glass cannon types of heroes. So Nolan is not really seen so much currently in the meta, but it's still, I would say, a choice that you can pick up if you want to go for that early game snowball. rrqhoshi definitely has that potential. Right now, we're looking at the bans on a Guinevere, or perhaps maybe even someone wants to take out the Ruby, but it is the most pick, right? So someone either going to take or ban it. But as of the moment, right, there's so many things that you can still take out. The Fanny being respected here too. Deus Vult just locking in their target right now, and it seems to be Irad as of the moment.
And the way this is looking, I mean, usually with rrqhoshi having second pick, I think they're going to try and get the CC. I don't see them banning it out. I think they're going to try and bait Deus Vult, and I don't think they're going to expect Deus Vult to pick it up. So I think they'll try and get the CC here. And then maybe since they don't have the Mathilda, go for like some single target CC. It seems like that's their plan. Grab the CC and then go for like a Kaja, or we've seen them run the Cho before too in this type of situation, the way the draft played out. And they may actually be able to pull it off. I wonder if these Volts will pick up the CC if it is available. That has been one of those heroes everybody was wondering, is it meta? Is it not? But after seeing Game of Futures in day one, I can definitely tell you it is. As you are going to go ahead and see the R-Lot taken off the table from the side of rrqhoshi. One more ban on the way before we have our first pick. Now, Guinevere is still an available option. We've been seeing a lot of teams first pick the Ruby. The Barats has been first picked a lot too. I mean, these are all some strong pickups, but if it comes down to it, I'm willing to bet rrqhoshi picks up the CC.
Yeah, even the R-Lot here that is a rising pick for all of the teams here. It has great CC. It can be on the XP. Pretty much a very flexible pick. They take away the Joy too. That is pretty much like the Nolan. Once it gets scaled up in the early game, it is going to be really an unstoppable force. And if you don't have those suppression, you can't really deal with that. Right now, Deus Vult, they can pick up the Guinevere. They can pick up the Ruby, these CC heavy heroes for their first pick. The Matilda's already out, so maybe they can go with the safe pick, or maybe even pick up the Barretts for themselves, right?
Guinevere probably, because they ran Guinevere twice yesterday up against Burmese Schools. When they had the option for first pick, they definitely slotted it in. So they may actually run that. No, they actually might get CC too, though. There may be a chance that they get CC. It's either one of these teams is going to get it. If they let rrqhoshi get it, it's definitely going to be a problem, especially stacked up, like I said, with that Kaja. But Deus Vult kind of plays similar to them. I wonder if they go for that, though. Or, I mean, you could go for the Barats, like we mentioned. It's been such a strong pickup. Pair it with a support. I mean, the Faramis is on the table. You still got a Rafaela. But no, they're going to go in for the Ruby. This is a little bit of a shocker. So we got to have to see how rrqhoshi responds.
Yeah, the Benedetta ban coming through too for Deus Vult that really made it hard, right? Earlier for Kid Bomba, and the Benedetta is just so mobile. And then you paired it up with the Matilda in the first game. All two of those heroes are out. Now rrqhoshi can still go for, I was thinking of like, you know, a Barretts, but right now you did mention a lot of the CC, the Guinevere too, that could have been picked up by Deus Vult, and rrqhoshi just got these two very stacked picked up for themselves. Setup plays, CC, I think at a point I'm getting so confused right now. Are we talking about crowd control? Are we talking about the hero CC? Because
yeah, you're right.
It seems to be all about these things, right? The crowd control, CC, team fights. I think this is what I see for both sides. They want to have these team fights, and Deus Vult right now, they might want to consider going for the Novaria. That seems to be a pickup here that Sunset Lover really loves to go for.
Now, I'm curious if rrqhoshi will go for the Faramis here. I mean, it would provide a lot of sustainability for their team to keep them alive. I think it would be a strong pickup, and then maybe later in the draft they pick up a single target CC like a Kaja or a Cho, because they already have some major things checked off the board. They have great crowd control from CC and also Guinevere already, and disengage from both of these heroes.
Ini kita nonton RRQ ya, RRQ PS.
They can keep their team alive, and then you stack that up with some single target CC, like some suppression from the Kaja. And that's a really well calculated draft, I would say, for rrqhoshi if they do pull that off. But they may force out the Diggy pickup, though, as they are going to go ahead and pick up this Minotaur. That's a smart decision because, like I said, I would see them taking up that suppression if they didn't. But I wonder if rrqhoshi is even worried about it or not. Will they go in for the Diggy? It seems like Deus Vult is trying to bait them into doing this, especially picking that up when they still have another pick before the ban starts. Is it worth going for? I feel like they could do it, though, because they have the Guinevere with the CC, but no, they're going to go in for their mage pickup instead. They see the frontline composition forming, right? You have the Minotaur and you have the Ruby, and what better way to burst them down than to getting Gloom with this Lilia, one of the best early game mages available.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the range, you definitely have to give it to the Novaria, but for the Lilia, it can clear out the waves so fast. I like that this is going to be the answer to these heroes that are pretty much melee, right? Like the Minotaur, the Ruby. It also has a Black Shoes if you want to escape death, so you can kind of have that second chance. And then for rrqhoshi, yeah, they can pick up the Diggy here. They can totally do that, but is the Guinevere going to be in the XP lane, or is it going to be in the jungler role, or is the CC going to be in the jungler role, or is it going to be in the XP lane? That's going to be a big thing that they have to consider too, like the overall picture of their lineup. They take away some of the gold laners here. Both sides still don't have any gold laners just yet, so they take away the Iksha. That is also really good, right? Like you got these heavy frontline composition, then you pair with the Iksha. That is a lot of range, like the Novaria and then the Iksha. It's going to be so good in team fights. So I like this ban coming out from rrq.
You know, and it's funny too, because normally you would see teams pick up the Diggy to respond back to that in that position, but it just shows you how comfortable and confident rrqhoshi is not to go for that direct counter, but to try and work through a Minoan Fury. Now they do have engage and disengage. I guess technically you have, if you run the Purify on the Lilia and then you use the Black Shoes, then you can pretty much go back to safety with no problem. And the Guinevere, again, the spatial migration, she can get away just in time before that Minoan Fury drops to get out. And then, you know, CC is one of the most mobile XP laners so far. So all of them, good answers in terms of disengaging from these sticky crowd control situations. But there's a lot of openers for these fights, a lot of set potential so far for Deus Vult. They have the Ruby to be able to go in with the I'm Offended, and also a lot of sustainability from the Ruby. And then you have the Minotaur who can keep everybody alive, continuously healing them, and also providing that knockup with the Minoan Fury. And then to top it off, Sunset Lever, this is becoming a repetitive pattern. He really loves playing the backline mage. Like, he likes going in for these Navarias that can fight from afar, use the Astro Echo, provide even more slow, and deal some massive damage to the team. Now, the R-Lot is banned out. I would have loved to see the R-Lot on the Deus Vult combination here. I think it would have been great, but they already have the Ruby anyway, so it wouldn't have really worked out. So I would say there's just a lot of crowd control. We need more damage, though. We need to see some massive damage from the side of Deus Vult. I would say in the early game and kind of late game, technically.
A late game. Claude. Yeah, I think Claude will be either picked up here by rrqhoshi, but looking at Deus Vult here, like, both haven't picked up their gold laners. They take away the Fredrin too because they're anticipating that they haven't. This might actually just be an XP lane CC, and then you got the Guinevere on the roam position. They might go for the Barretts. I'm not so sure this time. It can still pretty much be a pickup here for Irad, or maybe you can go for something surprising, like maybe an assassin here. But you know, in a CC heavy type of composition, it wouldn't really be good to pick that up. Deus Vult still needs their gold lane. I think the Claude might be picked up here by Deus Vult once again. I mean, it's mobile. It's really good when it comes to the laning phase, right? It's PMI, can escape any clash. And Deus Vult here has a very good setup place. Ruby, they got the Minotaur too, and now Irad. What's it going to be for them? Deus Vult is really taking their time to pick up their heroes here. Maybe pick up a Barretts here for this side, but they got to carry for the side of rrqhoshi, so it's not going to be easy. But I guess, you know, they want that heavy front line so that their backliners like, you know, Sunset Lover, Hiko can shine here. So insane amount of burst here from the Claude, and then the vision from the Novaria. I like this lineup coming out from Deus Vult, but rrqhoshi has the answers to that. The carry, the early game too with the Guinevere and the Lilia.
And they stole the Barats. You know, I would have thought the Barats, like you said, would have been a good pickup for rrqhoshi, but they're going to go in for the Dairoth instead. I mean, it's some great burst potential, especially up against a beefier composition. There's a lot of frontline composition for Deus Vult. The Ruby, the Barats, the Minotaur, all of them able to provide that frontline presence. But the Dairoth, he loves taking it up close and personal, and I think it's a really good decision from the side of rrqhoshi if they can execute it. But speaking of execution, guys, we are inside of Group A Round 2 in the winners match, currently looking at Deus Vult up against rrqhoshi. This is a possible game set 2-0 sweep in the making for rrqhoshi if they play their cards right, and we'll be able to move on to stage 2 in the playoffs. Or will we see Deus Vult take the world by surprise again? The Rising Stars from M5 placed in 4th place, taken down by Blacklist. Able to even out this series 1-1 as we go through the tunnels of the virtual arena into the Land of Dawn. We go. Which way will this play out? Who will claim victorious?
Yeah, I wish we had that virtual tunnel so we can go straight into the Land of Dawn. I mean, this is rrqhoshi on a match point right now. Deus Vult right now. The thing with their lineup is it's good that they have this heavy front line. And it's gonna be up to the Banana here and even possibly Brusco here to pick off Sunset Lover and Hiko. And just as I was saying that, there's the Purifies coming out from Sunset Lover and Hiko just to make sure that they don't get caught up in the setups here by Brusco. And even to a point, the zoning here from Banana will be a problem here. So for rrqhoshi, their winning condition here is to take down the back lines once this scales up. But as for Deus Vult, they have this good early game too that can go at par with rrqhoshi right now. We don't have First Blood just yet, but all these players have been poking at each other. Brusco as well, giving the vision to rrqhoshi. But here comes Magistar though. Nice knock up, nice take in, and that's gonna be the First Blood being picked up by Deus Vult.
A good start for them as well, playing patient and waiting for the opportunity. But now Irad rushing in to the 3-man team of Deus Vult, but Octa from afar trying to use the power of Gloom. Does not have level 4, he does not have the black shoes. Needs to be careful. Neither side will fall in that engagement. Deus Vult, though, like you said, claiming First Blood. As we are looking at a couple of the emblems on the way as well. It's interesting enough, there's 2 Concussive Blasts and then also 1 Brave Smite for the side of Deus Vult. So they're playing very sustainable and frontline oriented. And then you can say the same thing for rrqhoshi, except it's a little bit of a flip as there's 2 Brave Smites and 1 Concussive Blast for their side, but still a strong frontline presence, which means when it comes to these 5v5 engagements, there's going to be some up close and personal fights.
Wow, Skylar is doing a really good job poking at Hiko here, making sure that he stays under their turret. And now we're going to be seeing a team fight coming in here. Banana going to be forced to use in that Vengeance. Turtle at half HP, made at 1/4. There goes Brusco with the setup. It's going to be Erad picking it up with the Retribution play. But there goes Magistar. He gets bursted down here from the side of rrq. There's a nice setup here from Sawo. Minoan's Fury onto 2, but everyone from rrqhoshi is still alive. Kid Bomba going to be able to sustain all of that. But Brusco says no. It is going to be just a projection of him. So much pressure from the side of rrqhoshi. Bomba going to be able to tag this one up. He's able to sustain, but not for long as rrqhoshi going to be able to pick off Kid Bomba, but for the price of Irad.
Well, I mean, I feel like they kind of won that trade, though, because they got 2 kills for 1 with the full extension of rrqhoshi really trying to go in for Kid Bomba. I don't really feel like that worked out in their favor like they planned it to. Oh, my goodness. Hiko able to take down Skylar, but Sunset Lover, a sniper in the making with this Navaria.
This is exactly why you need to take it down. You need to take down Sunset Lover, and that's the thing. This is the mission for Brusco and Banana and even Erad here to take down the back lines. And so far, Deus Vult has been keeping up here with rrqhoshi. And there goes the setup here from Brusco. Hiko did not pop in that Purify just yet, knowing that Sao is in the vicinity. Gets in that nice knock-up. The snipes coming out from the backside from Sunset Lover. Chunks Brusco to 1 HP, forced to back away 30 seconds before the next turtle is up. And so far, Deus Vult is actually looking pretty good here in the gold lane.
Everybody from Deus Vult, except for Kid Bomba so far, getting a piece of the pie. They all have 1 kill. Spread across the board so far, 4-2, leading by 2 kills overall, but only down by 400 gold. rrqhoshi still maintaining the gold despite the kill difference, as they were able to take that turtle in that first engagement. Now, Hiko was able to get the first kill over onto Skylar. Normally, you see Skylar have the advantage in the gold lane compared to most marksmen. And I would say Deus Vult is up to a good start. Now, the question is, can they maintain their slight lead, or do we see rrqhoshi take this turtle yet again and be able to gain control of the early phase?
Yep, you just called it. rrqhoshi, just like that, takes it in with the Retribution. I do like the vision being provided here by Sunset Lover, but the way that rrqhoshi contained that turtle pit, they aren't able to get in. Like, Brusco was there just waiting in for the setup. Like, even the members here at Deus Vult, the tankiest members, are gonna have second thoughts before they try to get it in. Here comes Magistar with the engage. It's gonna be the nice Minoan's Viewer on the 3. That's gonna be Brusco. Erad checking up all of the damage. He's gonna be forced out but gets tugged in there by Magister. That's gonna be Deus Vult taking down Irad once again. Nice trade-offs there, but it's still gonna be rrqhoshi just leading by a 400 gold lead. Let's take a look at that instant replay here.
Yeah, putting rrqhoshi on a trampoline with that Minoan Fury triple knockup, sending them straight to the moon. 5-2 so far, first 5 minutes, and rrqhoshi able to take both turtles, but falling short on these kills. They are still ahead of gold though, making up the advantage from having these neutral objectives is keeping them in this game and in a slight lead. Hiko off to a good start, like we said, able to get a kill onto Skylar, may delay the late game for carry. Looking at Irad, not off to the best start either. 1-2-1, already finding 2 deaths so far. Magister, 2-1 so far on the scoreboard. Highest kills in the game overall. And really outscaling so far inside of the jungle.
Yeah, but Banana's just like diving right in with his yo-yo. Even on the bottom side, there's gonna be a lot of pressure. Black Shoes being popped here by Octa. Sky's just be chalking down that tower onto the bottom side, able to take it in, but it's still alive with 1 HP as rrq creating in that pressure on the bottom side, understanding that there's gonna be that power spike too from Hiko, right? And if they don't, they kind of leave him unchecked. He's going to be able to wreak havoc here up against rrq once it comes to the late game.
Yeah, and now the next turtle does spawn in. This will be the third one of the game. Both so far have gone to rrqhoshi. Is the third time the charm for Deus Vult, or will they let another one slip through their fingers? As you already seen rrqhoshi in a great position for the contest. Brusco waiting to hit that spatial migration. You can just feel him itching for the setup. Astro Echo connects though. 3-man set over there from Sunset Lover from afar.
Yo, Banana here. You know, when that CC is just using that, yo, it looks so innocent, right?
God.
Look at the damage it's causing, even up against Sao. And right now, Banana, Brusco goes in with the dive, gets in Kid Bomba. And that's going to be rrq picking up 2 kills for the price of none. Hiko! Force use in that blazing duet. Not able to take anything in as Irad confirms the kill. rrqhoshi going to be able to take the prime positions once again to the turtle. This is the thing that rrq has been doing since game number 1. Taking in objectives after objectives as Deus Vult cannot take anything in. 2k gold lead, now making that a 3k lead up against Deus Vult.
Yeah, and keeping them in the game and also putting Skylar ahead in gold, now above Hiko by 1,000, even though he took a death over him in the early phase. But now with the scoreboard equalized and the economy leading into the favor of rrqhoshi, they may be able to open up this map more in their favor as they took a turn on the bottom side. But Kibamba very low. Sawo with the knock up the Minoan Fury 2-man set onto rrqhoshi. Skylar will take him down though. Magister is connected. Death is welcome. Finds Brusco. Blazing duet from Hiko. Rushing on to Skylar. May be able to get him. Does get the kill. Deus Vult claiming the lead 7-6 in terms of kills, but still down by gold. Sunset Lever is going to connect with Astro Echo. I'm offended. Connect. Irad very low. Bomba on the chase. Banana taking him down. Hiko very low. Vengeance proc by Banana. Sunset Lever will find Irad. You're going to see Banana able to get out of there as well, providing a lot of presence with this CC, a major annoyance so far, harassing Deus Vult.
Yeah, see, this Banana hasn't left the jungle side here at Deus Vult, just making sure that Magister and Sawo are contained while the rest of rrq has been just working in those towers after towers. 2 towers taken in by the side of rrqhoshi. Even though the gold lead is not that much, what rrqhoshi has more here is going to be the turret takes. And this is the same thing that they had. Turrets, objective gaming is going to be the thing here. 30 seconds before the Lord, and with the space created here by rrqhoshi, they should be able to take in this Lord. With Deus Vult having a harder time to contest up against this. What can you say about the items here though? But speaking of the items, Kid Bomba though, gotta be getting it from Brusco here, as it's gonna be a 2v1 situation with Kid Bomba unable to do anything at that point.
Yeah, and speaking of the items, Skylar will pick up that Demon Hunter Sword. We'll be able to soak into that Barats with that high HP pool. He does have the Corrosion Sight, and on top of that, the Golden Staff. A lot of core items working in his favor as he takes the Tier 2 turret on the top side.
Oh, nice setup there by Sabo. Banana as well. Popping in that vengeance. Astral Echo from the backside. Sao's gonna get chased here by Banana and Irad. I can't believe that the CC is causing that much damage, forcing the rest of the members here, Deus Vult, to actually back away. Not only that, the glooms coming out from Octa is starting to hurt a lot too. They take in the mid tower right before this first Lord, and rrqhoshi is gonna look to take this, is looking to take this Lord in. With Deus Vult actually backing it away. Brusco finds another setup here onto Kid Bomba. Irad working up on that Lord, and just like that, deleted from the map. Kid Bomba gonna get taken out as Deus Vult not even able to get near the Lord, as rrqhoshi will be taking in this first Lord of the game.
Taken every single neutral objective so far, haven't lost a single turret, and now leading by 1 kill and also up 4,000 gold. rrq looking stronger than ever, holding that flag for Indonesia. Deus Vult now forced on the back end, needs to have a counter response to be able to turn this game back around into their favor. Hiko on a one-on-one up against Banana. Sawa joining the party, wants a piece of it, wants to make a Banana split. But you are going to see a little bit of split on the map. Deus Vult's taking it in the mid lane up against rrq. Bruce goes to Spatial Migration, not going to be able to connect. Sunset Lover does hit, though, with the Astral Echo and the snipe from the Astral Meteor. Man, some heavy presence as we are seeing the Lord on the top side make his way to the base of Deus Vult.
Yeah, no, Sunset Lover here hasn't been picked off just yet, standing at a 204. So rrqhoshi has to kind of respect that too. Like every single time they go for a clash, you got that Astral Echo, and by the time that Sunset Lover will be able to pick in either a Divine Glaive or even those magic damage penetration items, it's gonna be really hard, right? rrqhoshi looking to take in the Lord. As long as they can take it, as long as they can take all these major objectives, they should be able to pressure out the lanes here of Deus Vult. Map control totally for the side of rrqhoshi. 6 turrets, and all the Lords, all of the turtles went to the side of rrqhoshi. 37k lead for them as Deus Vult is holding on for their dear lives to extend this to a game number 3.
Yeah, and there's a lot of insurance for the side of rrqhoshi, right? You mentioned map control and their turrets. I mean, they have every single turret still standing, and we are 12 minutes in. Deus Vult's not able to execute into their game plan jumping into this match. But hey, they may be able to turn it around if they play a little bit passively. They're definitely going to have to play for the late game, though. They can't really continue to contest. I mean, the gold is just way out there now, up by 5,000 for the side of rrqhoshi as you're looking at some of those items on the board. But they are going to take the fight. Brusco not going to connect with the Spatial Migration, decides to disengage. We are going to see this Lord spawning in the next 40 seconds. Sunset Lover with the Astral Echo connects to Octa and will hit Banana. But do they take the fight? Hiko does. Rushes in, chips a little bit of damage on a Banana, though. He's not worried about it. This man's just rotating around with CC with ease.
Yeah. It's a 10k for Skylar in comparison to Hiko, actually. Yeah, Hiko only has like less than 10,000 here. So that in itself, Skylar has managed to pick up all the items that you need. And you know, you mentioned late game. This is definitely going to go to the carry, right? All these tanky heroes can be melted down, not unless you get that two-man setup, the chain CC combination from either Sawo and Kid Bomba here. rrqhoshi wasting no time, knowing that, respecting the fact too that they have the late game heroes here for the side of Deus Vult. They're knocking up this Lord, 1/4 HP already. For the side of Deus Vult, they're waiting for the proper time to come in, but they aren't able to get in. They're waiting for some type of play. Ooh. Astral Echo, but that's going to be rrqhoshi getting in that Lord for free, and Deus Vult just going to be letting that one slide this time. 43k gold for the side of rrq as Deus Vult just struggling to even contain their lanes as of this point.
I don't know how many more punches Deus Vult's going to be able to take. Is rrqhoshi very aggressive and winning every single trade. I don't think they've lost a single trade so far. Looking at Kid Bomba, this is the second time he's picked up this Ruby. The last time it wasn't as effective, and it's looking like a repetitive pattern. I mean, he's 0-5-5, highest deaths on this game so far, and hasn't really been able to provide a crucial set with the I'm Offended that Deus Vult is kind of relying on, as we are now going to see the Lord make his way down the mid lane.
Yeah, here it is. rrqhoshi knocking in the doors. Brusco once again with a setup onto Magistor, and Skylar's gonna pick up the kill. Lords is knocking in the base of Deus Vult as Skylar's gonna be chunking in that tower really, really fast. inhibitors are going to be going down here as rrqhoshi just wasting no time, creating all the pressure on all of the lanes here. Man, this is going to be really hard. Brusco just setting up the place here for their damage dealers to be able to do the thing. And now here comes Sawo with the setup. And the flickers out and the purifies is going to nullify all of that, as rrqhoshi going to still be pressuring in all of the lanes as Deus Vult unable to do anything at this point. Hiko goes in for the Blazing Duet from the backside. Banana going to be able to soak that up, but Sunset Lover with that snipe kill, able to pick off one, and now Brusco in trouble too. Jumps right out, one half HP as Kid Bomba goes in for the flicker. Brusco goes down, and that's going to be it. Deus Vult claps back against rrq.
A big turnaround, miscalculation from the side of rrqhoshi, and it may cost them some grounding on the Land of Dawn as Deus Vult's now in control. Will they be able to claim some of these turrets and push to their base? It looks like they are going for it down the mid lane. Astro Echo does connect for the slow on a Banana, on an Octa. Sunset Lover will be able to take the tier 1 turret.
Wow, this is a 4-man rotation coming in from Deus Vult. 2 turrets just like that. Hiko gonna be taking in a lot of the damage coming out from Octa. And that is gonna be rrqhoshi picking up another kill. Turrets are going down one by one. The turret's also exposed here from the side of Deus Vult. They don't have that inhibitor onto the top side. 30 seconds in. This should be rrqhoshi still getting in that prime position for the Lord. They have to watch out for the snipes here coming out from Sunset Lover. 305. He hasn't been shut down just yet.
I love how Banana just walked down the mid lane and the entire team of Deus Vult said, oh, I don't want no parts of that. We're just going to go all the way back to the base. And away they went. As now they're back on the defensive stance. That slight advantage that they had now turned back around against them. Banana picking up the immortality. Brusco having it as well. A little bit of an extra blanket of security as they are getting ready to take this Lord.
Yeah, look at how fast Skylar's chucking in that Lord. They should be able to take this one. Not unless they're going to be a steal. They're way too far. As rrqhoshi going to be stealing the deal once again, taking in the second Luminous Lord of this game.
Yeah, able to claim that Lord, which will put him in a great advantage to possibly be able to close this out. rrqhoshi one step away from making it to stage 2 in the playoffs. Deus Vult needs to find a way to contest. Can they stop this Luminous Lord in the full 5-man team of Viva rrq? Look at Banana already ready, trying to bait out some of that utility before the Lord makes his way into the base.
Brusco again with the setup. He finds one. He finds Hiko. Not going to be able to pop in that Purify just to save it in for something else. But right now, Astral Echo is going to connect. Lord is going to be marching in the base. They should be able to chunk this down, but lots of pressure coming in from the side of Deus Vult. They're tanking up all the bursts coming out from Hiko and even Sunset Lover. But the base is exposed. They only have one inhibitor left here, and rrqhoshi is going to be backing away, respecting the damage coming out from Deus Vult too.
Yeah, but you are seeing Deus Vult starting to be able to defend very well. I mean, rrqhoshi is down to 2 of their inhibitors for the mid and bottom side. And now this is officially the late game, meaning it's going to boil down to who can execute a little bit better. And now you're starting to see Deus Vult ready to take the fight over to rrqhoshi. They're not playing defensive anymore. It's time to play ball.
Look at the
Octa forced to use the black shoes. You already see Astro Echo connect to 3 members. That is going to be Irad, Octa, and Brusco with a little bit of that slow. Kid Bomba rushing in. Needs to get a good I'm offended. Needs to get the set Deus Vult is looking for. But Brusco finds it first. Face of migration in with the Violent Requiem. Able to get out. 50% HP. There goes Magister. Death is welcome. Connects to the wall for the stun. Blazing Duet from Hiko into the back line. Almost takes out Brusco, still alive. Irad, very low. Magister needing to get back. Vengeance proc by Banana.
Oh, look at
finding
Banana,
his way
though.
into the team of Deus Vult. Immortality's been proc. Octa in the mid lane finds Kid Bomba. Hiko finds Banana. Sunset Lover with the Astro Echo does connect, and that'll be a 1-for-1 trade for both sides, but they are not done. Trying to close the distance on Brusco, forcing out the spatial migration.
It is a 5k gold lead still in favor of rrqhoshi. The XP laner for the XP laner. The shutdown is going to be a big thing here for Deus Vult. The shutdown gold going to go towards their side. Looking at the items here again, this is the point of the game. 19 minutes in, you got those immortalities up. It's going to be really hard to get that pick off. Not to mention the purifies here that Brusco has been doing up against either Sunset Lover or Hiko. Sunset Lover has picked up that Blood Wings too, adding up to the shield and the magic damage it can provide for the team. Low kill scores count actually for both sides, so it is going to be a matter of execution here once it reaches this mid to late game. And rrqhoshi just going to be positioning themselves here in the Lord Pit, making sure that they take it in before Deus Vult. Astral Echo has been committed tier 2, and rrqhoshi not going to commit anything just yet.
And this is the chance they were looking for this entire game. Deus Vult may have a shot to even out this series up against rrqhoshi. This will all boil down to this play right here inside of the Lord Pit. And you are seeing Irad already pulling the aggro, trying to force the side of Deus Vult to engage, but they are playing passive. They are waiting, both sides, looking for a mistake to happen, looking for an opportunity to engage, but still play goes out. Just migration, Brusco connected for the knockup, but only catches Sawo. Didn't get what he was looking for. Will disengage. Lord at 50% HP. Debu now having control.
They're still going
right
for it.
on it. Big stun on the Brusco. Immortality being proc. Irad trying to get in there for the retreat. Sunset Lover will get a kill. Magister is going to claim it for Deus Vult. Hiko taking down Skylar. Irad, Immortality being proc alongside Hiko side by side. But Hiko gets the double. Finds the kill. 15-12 on the scoreboard, and Deus Vult has done it. They have turned this game around. rrqhoshi on the defense.
Let's take a look at that instant replay. What just went down? Brusco was punished there. Magister landing in that nice Detona's welcome onto Irad before he could actually pop in that retribution. The burst is too much here. And now Deus Vult, the timers are ticking. It's down to Banana to defend this one. As Deus Vult, they're looking to end this. The turn takes around to take us to a game number 3. They're knocking in the base. They can go for a straight push here. Steph, they're knocking, and they want to defend Deus Vult gonna be taking in game number 2. We're gonna be heading towards a game number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series.
That's right, as you are seeing Deus Vult knocking on the doors for rrq, letting them know, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game number 3. An epic turnaround, a comeback from Deus Vult, able to take that Lord last second. Everybody fighting down to the wire. Immortalities being proc side by side, double kills, you name it. It was there. But Deus Vult come into play and gave him a hard time at the very end. And now the series is evened out. Our official first game 3 in Group Stage A, and better yet, for the winners match to determine who will be moving on to Stage 2 of the playoffs for the Game of Futures 2024.
Panitianya ngantuk.
rrqhoshi right now.
Kenapa 2-0 harusnya?
I did say it's gonna be a 2-1, right? I just didn't say who's gonna win the series because we're gonna find out actually once we head into game number 3. And to think that it all went to rrq, right? The map control, the turtles, all those objectives, they take it in. But it actually kind of bounced back to the side of Deus Vult once it reached that late game already. That one turnaround, that one team fight that can actually turn the tides around on the game. I've seen it yesterday in S2G and Twisted Minds, and we're going to be seeing it here again in Deus Vult and rrq, which is the reason why Deus Vult was actually dubbed as the dark horse back in the M5 World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we said. If any team could pull this off, it is definitely Deus Vult. And they put on a show for game number 2. I mean, rrqhoshi was dominating that entire game. But hey, once it gets to that late game, turrets are not even necessary. It really just boils down to who can execute more on the team fights on the neutral objective Lord. And that ended up being Deus Vult, able to bait out the utility and rush in for the opportunity, and they seized it. This is going to put rrqhoshi in a very tight position now as this series is evened out. Now, which way does it go? rrqhoshi, I think they did everything right in the early game. In the mid game as well, they just weren't able to close out in the late, as we are now jumping into some of the spicy engagements for match number 2.
Yeah, the setups here were on point actually. For the side of rrq, you see Brusco just pressuring out a lot of Kid Bomba there over on the early game, right? Like, even though he's able to sustain, Banana was able to dominate the lane. And I did mention a lot about the CC earlier, that it is definitely annoying type of hero to lane with, right? Like, you see the knockups here, the setups here from Deus Vult was actually on point. There were some times that rrqhoshi was punished, but ultimately, what rrqhoshi did right here in the early game was taking the objectives, the space too, which is exactly why they were able to push it to a point that Deus Vult only had.
Dulu ya. Makasih yang udah nonton. Makasih Bang John, Bang Ardi, Bang Hafid, Bang Ril, Sincera, Dek Vincent, makasih dah mampir. Semuanya makasih. Aku off stream dulu ya. Nanti besok lagi aja. Bye.